welcome to this flow class based in Tapas. Tapas is the number 7 of the Yamas and Niyamas, the ethical guidelines of yoga. And Tapas is your internal drive, that fire that keeps you going, that keeps you motivated. So it's an important thing to really keep building and keep harnessing, to keep us motivated in life, to keep us pushing through difficult situations, difficult times in our lives. So I thought it would be a good one to do today. It's getting a little cooler, it's autumn, so this class is going to be about building heat, building motivation. So I thought we'd start with this linga mudra with our hands. So we're just going to clasp our fingertips together, thumbs stay out, and just bring that right in front of the lower, or right in front of your belly button, right in front of the solar plexus here. And this mudra is good for the lungs, so that's a good thing to be strengthening this time of year in autumn as we get ready for the colder months. We want to build our immunity, and this mudra helps us do that, helps us build immunity, it helps us build heat in the body. As the weather changes, we tend to run a little colder. If you're already very warm, then you don't need to do this mudra, but I tend to run cold, so this is a great mudra for me personally. So we will start here with our eyes closed. Let's take some breath into the lower abdomen. So as you inhale through the nose, think about extending through the lower belly. And as you exhale, pull the belly in toward the spine. So breathing in at your own pace and breathing out, but really paying attention to the belly here. Pulling breath deep into the belly and squeezing deep in the belly to let it out. When we want to do this, we want to build some energy in the lower belly. In qigong, that would be in your dantian, your chi or energy center. In yoga, we call that prana. Nice and deep. Really adding the lower belly muscles, creating some warmth there. Creating some warmth with our mudra. And thinking about, as you're doing this, thinking about things that motivate you, things that keep you motivated, what helps you stoke that internal fire to keep you going. And it's okay if you don't know the answer to that. It's good to think about it. Let's release the mudra and bring the hands right over the belly. Again, continuing that breathing, feeling the belly push into the hands, and then maybe even add the hands pushing into the belly as you exhale. Help those muscles really pull in tight. We'll take 2 more. So let's come into Tadasana and just notice the energy you feel in the body. I thought we'd do a qigong warm-up this morning, or today, whenever it is, whatever time of day it is for you. We're going to do swimming like a bear. So this will help. This is all on the surface of the lungs here, kind of in the area of the lungs. You're going to sit back into kind of like a chair, reach the arms forward, turn the palms and press back. And you're keeping the hands again at the lung level. And we want to imagine bringing energy into the lungs on our inhale and breathing any stagnant energy out on our exhale. So we want to breathe in, reach, and exhale. And really sit back in the hips. Allow this to warm the legs and warm the arms all at the same time. Just like you're a big grizzly bear swimming through the river. Using your breath, going at whatever speed is good for you, but with the intention of creating some heat. Nice. And we're going to reverse this. So we're going to pull in, inhale in, and exhale back so the palms come toward each other. So inhale, exhale, sit back. Imagine pulling that energy into the lungs. Breathing anything you don't need out, any stagnant energy. Nice. Let's do a few more here. You may start to feel your shoulders a little bit. And pull it in. Again, let's place our hands right on our lower abdomen. Take a couple of those deep belly breaths. Opening and pulling the belly back. Creating more warmth here in the abdomen. Good. And then let's inhale. Lift the hands, reach up to the ceiling. And then exhale, turn the palms down to the floor as you press down. So inhale, you can clasp the fingertips if you want to. Open the palms to the ceiling, to the sky, and then exhale, press it all down. Inhale, lift it up, right in front of the body, opening through the center, and exhale, press it down. Now we're going to do one hand at a time. So we're going to lift one hand, press the other one down, open through the side body, and come through the center with the hands, and reach to the other side. And come through, and reach. Through the center, and reach. Now this time when we do it, as we reach, we're going to sink down. It's kind of the opposite. I know it's the opposite of what I want to do. And then stand up. And exhale, sink down through the legs as you reach the arms in the opposite direction. And reach. Through the center. And reach, opening through the side body, really opening the lungs here. Reach. Through the center. And reach. Through the center. Nice. Now let's bring our hands right on our chest, below the collarbones, above the breasts, onto your lungs here. And we're going to take a big inhale. Imagine this glowing white healing light in your lungs. And as you exhale, press down into the chest. Again, just imagining this big light flowing in and out. As you inhale, you can even bring the hands off the chest. And as you exhale, push that healing energy back in. Just really imagining this bright, bright white light flowing in and out of the lungs to every cell, keeping your lungs nice and open and healthy. One more time, big inhale. And exhale out. Nice. All right. So hopefully you feel a little increased energy in the body. You can stand in Tadasana and just kind of notice that. And then we'll move to the front end of our mat. So let's take a nice big inhale up. We'll start some sun salutation. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, flat back. Long exhale as we plant the hands and step back. And find a plank here. Holding, you can always be down on your knees, of course. Really pressing the floor away, pulling the belly up toward the spine, creating some heat here as we breathe. And then we'll drop down to the knees, drop the chest, drop the chin, and let's inhale into a baby cobra here. Really pulling the shoulders back. You could lift the hands easily here. And then let's press into the hands, lift up a little higher, higher cobra. And then feel the spine uncurl. We'll press up and push back into an extended child's pose. Let's take a couple of breaths here since this is our first child's pose. Breathing now into the back of the lungs, back of the rib cage, opening up. Let's pull our fingertips back and just wave through the hands to give the wrists some support. And then we'll drop down through the hands, come into all fours, tuck your toes, press back with the hips, and then up into your down dog. And let's walk through our down dog a little bit since it's our first down dog. Pressing one heel down at a time. And maybe press both heels down for a breath. And then we'll look forward. Walk, step, or hop forward on the mat. Release over the legs. Reverse swan dive up. Close the palms at the top and bring them down to the heart. Inhale. Lifting up. Exhale. Swan dive forward. Uttanasana. Inhale. Flat back. And again, a long exhale, planting the hands. Again, find your plank or your kneeling plank and take a couple breaths here. Really pulling the belly up and in. Really pressing the floor away, top of the shoulder retraction there. And then we'll drop the knees, elbows graze the side, chest, chin. And again, a baby cobra. This time we're gonna add some movement. So we're gonna press down into the palms and come back. We'll do that 10 times. Warming the triceps, keeping the elbows squeezing in, keeping the belly lifting toward the spine. And 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now hold that higher cobra. Elbows are still bent. You're just a little higher, pushing into the palms, belly in. Uncurl through the spine, lift the hips, and again press back into a nice child's pose. Take a breath there. Maybe pull the hands back again and wave through the palms. We'll lower the fingers up through all fours. Let's tuck the toes, send the hips back, and press into your down dog. You can walk through that again or just hold, your choice. We'll take a couple breaths here. Opening through the back of the legs. And we'll look forward. Step, walk, or hop. And exhale over the legs. Reverse swan dive up. Lifting, lifting. And back to the heart. Inhale, lift. Exhale, swan dive forward. Lead with the chest. Release over the legs. Inhale, flat back. Long exhale, finding that plank or kneeling plank. And your choice, you can drop down to the knees first, or you can press forward, come into a Chaturanga Dandasana, turn the feet, and maybe lift all the way up into an up dog. We'll just hold here for a moment, breathing in and breathing out. And then we'll lift up through the core, back onto the toes. And we're going to again drop our knees and come down up into a baby cobra. And again, do these cobra push-ups. 9, 8, 7, 6. Build some heat through the triceps. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold that cobra. We're going to add some pulses. Pulse it up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Woo, build some heat. And lift up. Again, let's press back through that child's pose. Peel the fingertips back, away through the palms. Drop the fingertips. Up through all fours, tuck the toes, send the hips back, and press up into that. Down dog, take a deep breath. And we'll look forward. Step a hop forward, release over the legs. Reverse swan dive up. Close the palms. And back to the heart. Good. Inhale, lift. Keep it going. Keep building that heat. Building that tapas. Inhale up. And exhale forward. Step back. Find your plank. And again, dropping the knees or straight through that vinyasa. Inhale, lift. And then if you're in the up dog, turning the feet back under, dropping the knees, dropping the chest, and up into your baby cobra. Pressing into the hands again for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold at the top and pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Uncurl through the spine. Lift up. And again, press back. Let's hold here and breathe for a moment. Pull the fingertips back, way through the palms. Slow the breath down. Back up through all fours. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. And push back, take a breath into that down dog. And we'll look forward. Walk, step, or hop. Release over the legs. Reverse swan dive up. Close the palms. And back to the heart. Nice job. All right, inhaling up. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, flat back. Long exhale, step or hop. We're just going to go straight through. Just kind of a normal sun salutation. Lift the hips this time. Press straight back to your down dog. Walk, step or hop forward. Release over the legs. Reverse swan dive up. Close the palms. Back to the heart. Let's do one more like that. And your choice of vinyasa. Of course, you can always come down to the knees first. That's a great option. That will help protect the fronts of the shoulders until they get strong enough to go straight down. Follow your breath. Once you get back to the top of the mat, we'll hold there. And just come back into a Tadasana. Notice the increased energy in the body. Notice where you feel increased heat. Increased energy. All right, next part. Let's press into a chair pose. So start with your feet hip distance for these. And we're gonna reach our arms forward. Long spine, belly pulls up and in. We want to be able to see our toes if we look down. So we're going to bring the arms back for airplane arms and then forward into chair. And 2, and forward, and 3, and forward, and 4. Bring them forward, take a breath. And we'll lift up, big circle with the arms, back to Anjali Mudra, and again into that chair. Sink the hips. Arms come back for 4. And reach, really reach through the triceps there. 3, and reach, and 2, and reach, Reach forward, hold, take a breath. And we'll come up, big circle with the arms to Anjali Mudra. Moving on again, starting in that chair. Reaching the arms back and forth and 2 and reach and 3 and 4. Reach them forward, hold, bring your weight into one foot, reach back with the other, and keep your weight forward here. Keep that crown of the head reaching on a diagonal, long spine all the way down. Same thing with the arms, reach them back and forth. Belly's in for support. And forth. 2 more, back and forth. Last one, back and forth. Nice, step it forward. Lift up, big circle with the arms. Back to Anjali Mudra. And again, into that chair. Arms back and forth for 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. Good. So switching legs. Bring the weight into the other leg. I'm back with my left leg this time. The first time was with my right. Belly's in. Reaching forward. We're keeping our weight forward, loading on this leg. Back and forth with the arms. And 2. Belly's in. 3. And 4. Reaching forward, stepping forward, big circle with the arms. Back to the heart. Good, moving on. Sinking down, creating that heat. And back and forth. For 2. And 3. And 4. So again, that first leg I started with, my right leg's going to reach back. I'm holding here. And arms back and forth. Keep that belly in, support your back. 2. 3. 4. Good, this time we're lifting up. Let's get a nice long hip flexor stretch before we proceed. Lift the chest as much as it feels good to you. Long back leg. Now we're coming forward for warrior 3. Finding the balance. If you feel balanced, get your drishti point, your focal point with your eyes. You can add those same arms, forward, back and forward. 2. If you don't feel balanced, and just hold the arms still. 3. Last time. 4. Reach, reach, reach. And we'll close the legs. Big circle with the arms. Back to the heart. Other side. Sink into that chair. Here we go. Reach the arms back and forward. For 2. And forward. 3. And 4. Hold them there. My left leg's going back. Second leg. Here we go. Arms back and forward. For 2. And forward. For 3. And forward. For 4. And forward. Lift up. Oh, that feels good to come up. Lift the chest as much as it's good for you. Really getting that long stretch through the hip flexor of the back leg. Breathing, breathing. And then we're going to dive forward as you're ready. Find that warrior 3, long spine. If you feel balanced, adding those arms. Remembering belly pulls in to support your back. So if you're feeling anything in the low back, pull your belly in more. My leg is shaking. Last one. And we'll close, big circle with the arms. Close into Anjali Mudra. And one more set. Reaching back. Holding that chair pose. Arms come back and forward. For 2. And forward. 3. first leg. Find that long line and arms back. For 1 and back. For 2 and back. For 3, one more, back. For 4, lift up, open through the front of the body. And dive forward. Find that warrior 3. Again, back and forth for 4. Or just find your balance. 3 and 4. This time that leg's going to come through. Maybe not even touching it down, holding it up. Same thing with the arms. You can also bend the knee there. If it's too much on that quad, just bend your knee. And lift. 3 and lift. Lots of heat. Building up. Lift the arms, lift the leg, drop it down. Big circle with the arms. Woo, back to Anjali Mudra. Last time we can do this. Belly in, long spine. Arms back and forward. For 2 and forward. For 3 and forward. For 4 and forward. Second leg. Belly's in, arms back. And forward. For 2 and forward. For 3 and forward. Last one. 4 and forward. Lift up, stretch. Oh, that feels so nice. And as you're ready, dive forward. Warrior 3. And maybe add the arms. Maybe not. Just try finding that balance. If that's where your challenge is today. 3 and 4. Reach, reach. Leg seesaws through. Hold it up. And last time with the arms. And 2. Chest is lifted. Bend that knee if you need to. 4. Lift the arms, lift the legs higher. Or leg higher, drop it down. Big circle with the arms. And back to the heart. Back to Tadasana. Close the eyes. Notice what you notice. Nice deep breaths. Calm the breath. Let's bring our hands right over the lower abdomen. Again, think about breathing into that lower abdomen. See if you feel increased heat, increased energy there. Nice job. Give everything a little shake. All right, I'm just going to turn around, but you can walk to the back of your mat if you're facing the camera or facing the screen. Big inhale up. And exhale, chin to chest. Let's roll down the spine. Really releasing the back on the way down. If you have a block or something, you can always use that. You can also keep your hands here on your shins if you need to feel your back needs more support. Maybe clasp the elbows if that feels good. Give yourself a little sway. And then again, we'll drop the hands. Let's walk forward, and we're going to come all the way down to the mat. So you can decide, you can just drop on down, or you can come slowly down. Releasing the feet, releasing the arms. And let's just breathe here together for a moment. Still allowing everything to calm down. So we're going to go back to those airplane arms one more time. This time reaching the arms forward. I'll have to move my candles. Taking a nice big inhale on the mat. This is kind of a moving version of a locust, reaching out, Salambasana. We're going to reach the arms back and forward. Again for 4. Back and forward and back and forward. Now hold them back Palms face the floor. Really reach back with the shoulders. For 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Let everything relax. Maybe turn your cheek in the opposite direction. And maybe just wiggle the hips a little bit. Let's stretch through our quads. They did a lot of work for us. Grabbing one foot. Pulling that foot in toward the glute as you press the hips down. Lengthening through the front of that leg. And release there. Turn your cheek to the other side. Take the other foot. Pull it in. Press those hips down. And we'll release there. Let's turn the head to the center. And we'll reach back for our bow pose. Now you can either clasp the hands and open the chest there, or you can grab the feet. Press the feet into the hands and open there. And really breathe into your open lungs here, your open chest. This feels good after all those chairs. And then we'll release down. And let's press up. Open the knees wide, send the hips back. Lengthen through the spine. Nice deep breath here. And before we calm all the way down, last bit of heat, let's build some more heat in our core. So, we'll come into a boat pose. So think about your ankles and knees being on the same height. Shoulders are back and down. Chest is lifted. You can hold on to the legs or you can reach out. Holding our boat pose, keeping our heart nice and open. And then we're going to add the movement going in from canoe to boat for 10 and 9 and 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Lift, lift, lift. Drop the feet, slowly roll back through the spine. We'll lift the legs straight up. And you can kind of cook your hands underneath your hips here if you'd like, or you could bring them behind the head and come into an upper ab curl. We're just going to drop and raise the legs for 8. Keep the belly button pulled in. 7, drop and pull up. 6, drop and pull. 5, drop and pull. 6, drop, pull. 7, last one here, and pull. Bend the knees. Last core exercise for our obliques. Inhaling through the center, exhaling to the other side. And 3, 4, 4, last 4, and 3, 2, last one. Very nice. Pull everything in. Good job. Let's open our knees. Bring them toward the armpits as you press the low back down. Lengthening the spine. Maybe grab the big toes, or you can grab underneath the knees there and come into a happy baby if that feels good. If not, then just keep the legs where they were. This, you can add a little bit of an inner thigh stretch. You could rock here if that feels good. You could also maybe extend one leg. Just play with it a little bit. Listen to your body. It'll tell you. You just have to listen. Let everything calm down. We built our heat. Found that tapas today, that motivation, that internal fire. And now we're going to start to calm it down. So let's bring the left leg over the right, drop that knee away, flex the foot, and press that knee away from you. See if you can feel a little opening in the front of the hip there. And then possibly bringing the leg up. You can grab underneath the hamstring here, or you can grab around the shin. That may give you a deeper stretch. You just decide where you'd like to be. Maybe not bring the head up. Maybe keep the head back and try to relax through the upper body. That should help your hips be able to relax more. And if you want more stretch, you can really press the low back down, tailbone down, as you're pulling in, and that should create some length through the hip. You might feel a nice release all in the back there. You could really feel it anywhere in the hip. Just depends on your body. Really slowing the breath here. Wanting everything to relax. We'll drop that foot. Let's lift that left leg up and just grab somewhere on the leg. If you have a strap or a towel, of course, you can take that around the foot. You can always pause the video and get what you need. We're just going to stretch through the hamstrings. Sometimes it's nice if you don't have the foot, you can kind of point and flex through the foot and see how that changes the stretch. Get a nice little stretch through the front, maybe with it pointed, and then of course through the calf when the foot is flexed. It intensifies that hamstring stretch. And then let's bend that knee into the chest. Let's extend our bottom leg if it's not already, and open out to the left side. Drop this opposite shoulder down for counterbalance. And then we'll bring the knee up and over and come into a nice spinal twist. If that feels like it's too much of a twist on your back, you can always pull the other leg in, and that just, doesn't allow you to come down quite as far. Might be a little more supportive. So just see how your back feels. If it feels like it needs less of the twist, pull that leg in. And we'll uncurl there. Give that knee another little squeeze, and then that becomes our bottom leg. Right leg comes on top, flexing through that foot, pushing the knee away. Feel that opening in front of the hip. And then we'll reach underneath the hamstring or around the shin. You decide what feels best for you. Keep this foot flexed, and then your knee will stay in good alignment. And feel free to, move with this a little bit. Sometimes if you take the stretch kind of over to one side, that always increases it a whole lot for me, at least on one side. And then we'll release that leg. Pull the knee in. And you can keep that leg, you can extend that leg, or you can keep it bent as we come into that hamstring stretch. Again, you can always use a strap or a towel on that foot. Or if you have the leg, maybe adding the pointing and flexing of the foot. Just whatever feels good to you today. Whatever you need to open up. The top of my foot feels kind of tight, so it feels good for me to point my toe. And then we'll pull that knee into the chest. If you haven't already, to release the other leg, release that down. Bring your opposite arm out for counterbalance. I don't know about you, but I also feel a nice release through my side, my opposite side of my leg as I do this. I don't know why, but I do. Back through the center as you're ready and into that twist. Again, supporting the back if you need less of a twist with your opposite leg. And we'll make our way back to the center. Another little squeeze for the knee. Let's drop that foot. Let's come into our fish pose just to open the chest a little more. So coming up onto the forearms, tuck your hands underneath your hips here. Squeeze your elbows in as much as it's comfortable for you. And just open the chest as you slide up and back over the hands, maybe dropping the head if that's okay. Whether it's Matsuyasana. Opening the chest, opening the throat. Coming out of that as you're ready. And just releasing down. Finding your Shavasana, tucking the shoulder blades back. Opening the palms to the sky. And actually, let's bring our hands again right on our lower belly. We'll take 3 deep breaths, pushing into the hands as you inhale. And as you exhale, pulling the belly down to the spine. And push with the hands as well if that helps you get that. Really deep, big breaths. And on your third one, as you exhale, pull the belly button down to the spine. Also, think about lifting up through your pelvic floor, creating that Mula Bandha, creating your Uddiyana Bandha with the belly button. Really pulling in both directions there, creating a really solid, firm space in that lower abdomen, holding the energy in. And then letting everything really completely relax the belly and that pelvic floor. And now we'll find our Shavasana. Closing the eyes. Coming into whatever breathing pattern feels good for you. As I read to you a little bit about Tapas. Tapas is that internal flame, drive, motivation. Tapas has the sense of cooking ourselves in the fire of discipline to transform ourselves into something else. Being willing to dig deep and stand the heat so that we can offer ourselves the next higher version of ourselves. Sometimes this only means to sit in hardship and come out stronger. It is in the times of hopelessness and desperation that shape and mold us into someone of depth. In those times when we don't know how to get through the next minute of what seems unknown and overwhelming to us, can we hold on until we are somehow blessed by our struggle? Tapas is growing our ability to stay in the unknown and the unpleasantness, rather than run in fear. It is the willingness to be both burned and blessed. The promise of a crisis is that Tapas will pick us up and deposit us on the other side of it. When we listen to the inner voice and surrender to staying present to the unknown, the unpleasant, and often to the grief and pain, we are preparing ourselves to benefit and be blessed by Tapas. And And I'll end with the St. Francis Assisi prayer. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. This profound plea to change us from haters to lovers, and from disturbers of peace to makers of peace. This is the prayer of Tapas, and it invites us to be in life in a different way. And feel free to stay in your Shavasana as long as you would like. If you are ready to come out, you can find a comfortable seated position. And I'll end with one final breath, reaching my arms over my head and bringing my hands down to my heart to seal this practice today. And the fire within me sees the fire within you. Namaste.